Jobel and Satan. Episode 1. A Righteous Man on Earth. In the vast and ancient land of Uz, nestled between rolling hills and scattered desert plains, there lived a man whose name echoed in heaven and whispered through the earth, Job. Unlike the mighty kings who built cities or the warriors who carved their names in blood, Job's greatness was not measured in military conquests or political alliances. His greatness lay in something far rarer, character. The Bible opens the story of Job with a description few men have ever earned. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil. Job chapter 1:1. This was not mere flattery or tradition, it was the verdict of God himself. Job's life was a testimony to devotion. He was a man of immense wealth, owning 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 female donkeys. He had a large household and many servants, and his reputation stretched far beyond Uz. People came to him for wisdom, counsel, and prayer. Yet with all his prosperity, Job's heart remained humble. He did not trust in his riches, nor boast in his standing. His trust was in God, and his days were saturated with worship. More remarkable still was Job's role as a spiritual leader in his home. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters, and after each feast or gathering, Job would rise early in the morning to sanctify them. He would offer burnt offerings on their behalf, saying, "It may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts." Job chapter 1:5. This was not a one-time act, but a continuous pattern. Job was not only a man of worship, but a man who interceded. He carried the spiritual weight of his household, covering them in sacrifice and prayer. In the unseen realm, beyond the visible world of Job's livestock and land, a cosmic eye was watching. While Job walked in integrity upon the earth, Satan, the adversary of souls, was prowling with hatred and jealousy. He despised the worship Job gave to God. He sneered at Job's obedience. To Satan, Job was not righteous, he was merely comfortable. And so, as Job went about his day unaware, faithfully walking in covenant with God, the foundation of a celestial confrontation was being laid in the courts of heaven. Job didn't know his name was on heaven's lips. He didn't know he was being watched, evaluated, and prepared to be a witness, not only to his generation, but to all who would suffer after him. He was about to become the centerpiece in a controversy between God and Satan. What made Job so extraordinary wasn't just his wealth or moral excellence, it was that his faith had roots deeper than blessings. He served God not because of what he had, but because of who God was. And that alone made him the perfect target for the enemy who seeks to destroy true worshippers. In this opening scene, the camera of Scripture zooms in on a man who has everything, and yet lives as though God is everything. Job's story doesn't begin in pain, but in peace. His skies are clear, his children are alive, his flocks are multiplying, his reputation is strong, but above it all, his faith is pure. And in this quiet moment, before the storm, the battlefield is chosen, heaven is watching, hell is stirring. And one man, righteous, unshaken, unaware, stands ready to prove that love for God does not depend on reward.